Good evening. Welcome to your bedtime stretch class. Tonight, we will be using a yoga mat, a hard-backed chair, and I believe a tennis ball. Get your little pieces of equipment and we will get started sitting in our chair. All right, so start by sitting up nice and tall. At the edges of our chair, I'm going to have my legs nice and wide. And from here, we're going to ripple our chest forward and roll up the back. Ripple the chest forward, roll up the back, ripple the chest forward, roll up the back, ripple the chest forward, and roll up the back. And getting those shoulders and arms moving, bringing them back one at a time like you're swimming. Feeling nice and expansive through the front sternum of the body. Seeing if we can get a little stretch happening in there. Sitting up nice and tall. Our hand is going to go to our opposite knee, and our other hand is going to reach to the back of our chair into a gentle twist. Looking over that back elbow to complete the twist through the whole spine. Unravel that and let's go to the other side. The other hand goes to the opposite knee. Bring the other hand to the back of the chair and find a twist. Looking over that back elbow to complete the spiral. And come on out of that. Give those shoulders a little roll back. All right, into our side stretches, bringing one arm up and over. Reach it big and to the side. And come on up. Other side, inhale, arm scoops down to come up. Exhale it over. Find a nice big stretch. And on your next exhale, reach those fingers a little bit more and come on up. One more time each side like this. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, reach it over. Inhale to stretch. Exhale to reach, and coming up. Last time, just like this. Inhale, arm up. Exhale it over. Inhale. Exhale, reach, and come on up. We're going to do it one more time each side. We bring the arm up on the inhale. On the exhale, we reach over. Inhale to stretch. And then exhale, drawing a big circle through the space with the tips of the fingers. We rotate it forward and then we roll up the spine. Other side, inhale, arm up. Exhale it over. Inhale to stretch. Exhale, drawing that big circle with those fingertips coming all the way around until the chest is on the thighs and roll all the way up. Good. Let's go into the glutes. Sitting up nice and tall, bringing the shin up, flexing our foot and hinging forward. I like to rest my forearms on my leg to give it a little gentle press down. But if just sitting like this is enough of a stretch, then just sit like that. No big deal. You are the one in charge of your body, and so you are the one that is going to find the modifications and stretches that feel best for you. But we'll be here for a couple more breaths, just starting to feel that glute, the back of the hip, the rotator, the butt, whatever you want to call it, start to open and release. And on your next exhale, come on out of that. Maybe give it a little shake out if it needs. Bring that other foot up and over. Sit up nice and tall. That foot is flexed. And we hinge over. Laying that forearm on the lower leg. Giving that knee a little press down if you can. Getting into those glutes, the rotators, the butt, whatever you want to call it, but starting to feel the back of the leg open up. And while we're here in this stretch, we're going to start tapping into different points of the body. So yes, we're stretching the glutes and we're feeling that area of the body relax, but give the shoulders a little roll back. Let them drop in their sockets. They don't need to live up by the ears. They can be down. Check in with the jaw. This is a moment to let that relax. And then check in with the breath, being really deliberate that you're taking big inhales and exhales. And if it helps, you can make them audible if it helps you remember to connect to that breath and release that leg. Give it a little shake out. Let's go into some head circles. Oh, hi. So this is for the neck. We're going to circle the head 3 times in one direction, 3 times in the other. Feeling those little snap, crackles, and pops as the head goes back. And that intense sort of stretching as the heads go to the side. And sometimes maybe even a little bit of upper back fatigue when the head goes forward. But we're just finding some mobility in these circles. Good. All right. Let's do a little of this today. Give those hands a warm up. We're going to massage our feet with our tennis ball in a moment. But first, we're going to warm up those hands and bring it to the back of the neck and just give that a little massage. Maybe even pulling those traps forward or getting into the front of the pecs, which is right under those collarbones. So give that neck shoulder area a little massage, whatever feels good to you. Maybe giving the arms a squeeze down. If you've been climbing recently, maybe getting into the forearms a little bit. Or if you've been sitting at a desk, stressing out, maybe give the jaw a little rub down. Good. And stand on up. Let's bring the chair to the side like so. And we're going to hold on to it just to help with a bit of stability. Bringing that tennis ball under a foot and giving that a little massage. So similar to the other massage work that we do on ourselves, we want to start nice and light. So we're not putting our full body weight in the tennis ball to begin with, but it's nice and light. And then as everything starts warming up and the muscle becomes a little bit more pliable, or you just feel ready to go a little bit deeper, you can add a little bit more weight into the tennis ball. You can even take moments to pause and just press down into one area if that feels good. Giving the bottoms of the feet some love. And this should hopefully feel pretty good. If you have anything going on with the tendons in the bottom of the foot, there's sometimes a symptom called plantar fasciitis when the tendons on the bottom of the feet become a little bit swollen and pinched. This can be painful. So just be mindful of how everything is feeling and switch sides when you're ready. And again, on our second side, we start with a light touch and you slowly get deeper as the muscles start waking up and start testing how deep that tennis ball can go, getting into different areas of the bottom of the foot. So that tendon that runs in between the ball of the big toe and heel, maybe under, the pinky toe area through the center of the foot. So kind of getting all the different surfaces of that arch area of the bottom of the foot. And if it feels good, take moments to kind of dig in deep to certain areas, finding pause. Oh, that's such a good spot for you. Mhm. And then from here, finish this side of the foot or this foot. Come on down, move that tennis ball to the side. And then using the back of the chair as a point of balance for our calf stretches, bringing one leg back, feeling that heel ground down, feeling the top of the head go up, and feeling that lower leg start to open up. And while we're here, letting the calf wake up and open up, feel the shoulders down, feel the jaw released. Take a couple conscious inhales and exhales. Oh, feeling that calf start opening up. I know we do kind of these opening exercises every week, but I feel like these are the types of things that we need to do daily maintenance on. And it's always a little easier to do them when you have other people in class with you, right? And then take a big exhale and bring that foot up. The leg that we just stretched, that foot is going to come up and we're going to stretch out the thigh. We're going to try to keep this thigh parallel to our other leg. If you don't feel a stretch, think about squeezing your glute and tucking that tail under and then giving that foot a little press into the hand, always directing that knee down to the ground. We don't want it winging out to the side. And release that down. Let's get into the calf on the other side. So again, on this side, feeling a nice long line between the heel and the top of the head. Feeling that calf open up. Checking in with the shoulders, checking in with your breath, checking in with your jaw. Seeing if you can relax the foot into the ground. The tendons in the front of the ankle, if those are engaged, see if you can relax that and melt even further into that stretch. Continuing to breathe really deeply here, feeling that calf open up. And again, a stretch that no matter how many times we do it, because we are walking, running, biking, moving human beings, our calves always seem to get a little bit tight. And on your next exhale, come on out of that. Hold on to that foot behind you, feeling those thighs parallel with each other. Feel that knee directing down, that little tuck in the tail to get into that quad. And you can tell on this side, this leg is a little bit tight because it wants to travel out that way. So I'm going to just keep reminding myself my knee is directing down to the ground. And on your next exhale, let that go. Bring the chair to the side. We will use that at the end of class. And let's come down to the mat. All right, so we stretched our calves. I'm going to bring this just a touch closer. And this down a little. All right. Okay, let's bring our tennis balls to the backs of the calf. So when working the back of the calf with the tennis ball, I avoid the soft behind part of my knee. So I'm only really working this big muscly bit. I avoid the Achilles tendon. So I kind of start it with the tennis ball in kind of that bulkiest part of the muscle. And then using this foot on the ground, propping yourself up with the hands, gently rolling forward and back. Getting into all the nitty-gritty different areas of the calf. You can also try giving that leg a little turnout, getting on kind of more on the outside of the calf. You can also do a little bit of turn in, getting onto the inside of it. So take a moment here, massaging and working and releasing those calves. And of course, if you find any tight spots and you just want to let it hang out there and let the muscle kind of start releasing and melting around the ball, you can let that happen. And then you can continue on your way. So massaging the calf will often bring up some other things, some other feelings that we don't necessarily get when we are stretching the calves, which is what we just did a moment ago. So these two things work really well in tandem together. Spend 1 or 2 more moments here. Come on off of it and then just brush everything upwards. So I'm kind of gently squeezing my calf between my thumb and my fingers and then just brushing upwards. So kind of helping to flush the area out. Going upwards, so you're helping push the blood up towards the heart. So you're kind of like assisting the blood against gravity versus pushing it down and letting the blood pool into the feet. Good. And now we'll go into the other side. So again, just a reminder, we're going to avoid rolling over our Achilles tendon here at the ankle, like kind of the base of the ankle. And then we're also going to avoid rolling behind the soft part of the knee. But we are going to target that big, meaty part of the calf. And similar to how we did the feet, start gentle and kind of general, and then start getting deeper and more specific. Getting into all the different little areas, noticing off the bat what feels good, what feels a little tight, what feels a little like, oh my God, I did not know that little gremlin was living there. Going through the calf, kind of taking assessments to begin with, and then slowly working it in, getting deeper, maybe taking moments to pause and feeling that muscle melt around the ball. And of course, reminding myself, I'm going to breathe really consciously here. I find that when I'm in like tight parts, especially somewhere like the calf where those tight parts are quite sensitive, I catch myself really holding my breath and like bringing my shoulders up towards my ear. So I'm just going to continually say it out loud to remind myself, but also to remind you to breathe. It's hard to remember sometimes. I understand. And we'll be here for just a moment longer. And then come on off of the ball, put it to the side, and brush upwards. Good. Give those a shake out. And while we are here, let's sit up nice and tall. Let's flex those feet and let's reach those hands forward. And because we're kind of focusing on the calves a little bit at the moment, if you want a little extra stretch through the bottoms of the legs, the calves, if you're able to reach the toes, grab the toes with your peace fingers and then bring those feet up closer towards your face, and you'll get a nice extra stretch through the calves. So this is kind of our first little hamstring stretch of the day. Don't worry, we will be doing more hamstring stretches in a moment. Take a big breath in. And on the exhale, drop down a little further and roll up the spine. While we are here right now, let's bring those legs as wide as they go in a nice big straddle. Sit up tall, either with the hands behind you, allowing this to be your stretch, placing the hands in front of you, or bringing the elbows down, or bringing the whole chest and chin on the ground. And we'll be here letting the inner thighs release for a moment. And while we're here in this stretch, this is a little bit more passive, so this is a great opportunity to check in with that jaw. Really feel that it's relaxed. Maybe make a couple audible exhales to make sure that it's releasing. Checking in with the breath. Maybe give the shoulders a little shake or the jaw a little shake. Feeling everything start to release. And then also feel that gravity pulling your torso down towards the floor, which will allow the stretch to go a little deeper. And on the next exhale, slowly walk up through the spine and bring those legs closer in together. Give them a shake out. We're going to go deeper into the hamstrings now. We will then go into the rotators and then we'll go into the front of the hips. So for the hamstrings, you know the drill. If you've been with me before, we come onto the back. We bring one leg up. We're holding behind the hamstring or behind the calf, never behind the soft part of the knee. We're going to take a big inhale in. And on the exhale, we're going to press our leg into our hands and resist. I want to keep resisting. If I were to let go of my hands, my leg would come crashing down to the ground. I am very active in my muscles. I take a big inhale in. And on the exhale, I'm going to release that push of the leg and bring that leg a little closer to me. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. And on the exhale, we resist for 1, 2, 3. Inhale. And on the exhale, we release and we bring that leg a little closer to us. 1 more time. Inhale. And on the exhale, we resist for 1, 2, 3. We inhale. And on the exhale, we release. We bring that leg a little bit closer to us. Let's hold it there for a moment. And let's let it go down to the ground. Shake that leg out. And before we go into our next leg, just take a moment to feel how long the leg that we just stretched feels. I feel like it's 2 inches longer than my other leg right now. So let's go to the other side. The leg comes up, take an inhale in, and we start resisting it. And we're super active in this. And just a reminder, if my hands were to release, my leg would go crashing down to the floor. And we take a big inhale in. And on the exhale, we release that those muscles, and we bring that leg a little closer to us. 2 more times, inhale. And on the exhale, we resist for 1, 2, 3. Inhale. And on the exhale, you release. And you bring that leg a little bit closer to you. 1 more time, inhale. And on the exhale, you resist for 1, for 2, for 3. Inhale. And on the exhale, you resist, or pardon me, you release and you bring that leg a little closer to you. Let's hold that there for a moment. Really feeling that maximum stretch in the back of the leg. It's pretty intense. My leg is even shaking a tiny bit right now. And let that release down to the ground and give that a little wobble out. Whew. Good stuff. All right. Bring the feet to the mat. Bring one leg up and over, flexing the foot the same way we did in our chair sitting down, but now we're going to do this in a different relationship to gravity, holding behind the hamstrings. I like to press my elbow into my knee, remembering that that top foot is flexed, and we bring that a little closer to our torso, getting into those glutes again. I enjoy rocking side to side on this. I feel like I can kind of get into some different fibers while shifting my weight ever so slightly. And while you're here as well, we can do this glute stretch with the shoulders relaxed. We can also do this glute stretch with the jaw relaxed. And we can always take a big inhale in and a big exhale and go a little bit deeper into that stretch. 1 more time, inhale. Exhale, go a little deeper. And come on out of it and switch sides. So again, the foot is flexed. We bring that leg up, pressing that elbow into that thigh if that feels good. Finding that happy place, that place that needs a little extra love in the glute. Or if you want, you can do that little gentle rock side to side with me, whatever feels good. Oh, you can even close your eyes here. Focusing in on the glute stretching, but as that glute is stretching, you can release your jaw. Feeling those shoulders going down towards the ground, not up towards the ears. Take a big breath in and a big exhale. A big breath in and a big exhale. 1 more time, big breath in and exhale. And let that leg lower down. Walk those feet so they're just as wide as your mat, and then just windshield wiper your knees side to side. All right, let's go into the front of the hips now. So coming on up, let me look at the time real quick. All right, we have about 10 minutes left. That's perfect. Coming up to the knees. 1 knee up. Find a nice big tuck in that tail. Come a little bit forward. So the reason why we do this one upright is this one targets the front of the hip a little bit, and then we'll slowly work our way into one that gets a little bit more into the quad. If you want to get into that psoas, bring that arm up and over, reaching to the side. We'll be here for a couple of breaths, really starting to feel the front of that hip open up. And it might feel a little creaky almost, but that's because we do a lot of sitting. And if you think about it, sitting, we have that hip all jammed up on itself all the time. And then let's bring two hands down to the ground, kind of framing that front foot. And then we're going to tuck our back toes and reach that leg long into a runner stretch. We'll be here for one or two more breaths. And we touch that knee down. We reach our arm back. We get a hold of the top of the foot. And we see if we can bring that heel towards our bottom. Really getting into the belly of the thigh, now the quad. So this will feel similar to the quad stretch we did while standing up holding onto our chair. But when we're down here like this, we can use this foot to get a little bit deeper. And release that. Bring that foot around. We'll go into a quick downward dog and then go into the other side. So we're going to tuck those toes, bring those hips up, and then just pedal through those heels. Feeling the spine really long and then feeling the backs of the legs really long. So we're creating a very large human triangle shape. And then touch those knees down. Come on up. Let's go to the other side. Finding a nice big tuck in that tail. Inching it forward just ever so slightly. And then if you need, bring that arm up and over. Breathing deeply. Really feeling the front of that hip open up. And then framing that front foot with your two hands, tucking those back toes, coming into a long runner's lunge. Touching that knee down, reaching that arm back, holding on to the tops of the toes, and bringing that foot closer to your bottom, getting deeper into that thigh. And on the exhale, let that go. Come on out of that. Do what you need to do for those legs. Awesome. Let's set up our chair at the base of our mat. Let's have our little tennis ball within arm's reach. But first we're going to do some quick twists just to get into the spine a little bit. So let's come onto our back with 2 knees up. Let's bring those arms to the side. And let's bring 2 knees down to the ground. If you want, you can extend that top leg and your arm on a diagonal. Bring it all back in and let's go to the other side. 2 knees go to one side. If you want a little bit more, you can extend that leg and that arm. And release that down. Do what you need to do. Maybe bring those knees into the chest and rock side to side for a moment. Or come into a happy baby if that feels good. And when you're ready, bring those calves to the chair. Bring that tennis ball into a hand and place it under the head like a little pillow so the head is supported. Place the hands on the tops of the thighs. Take a big inhale in. And on the exhale, press the thighs away, feeling space being created in those lower vertebrae. Inhale, release the hands. Exhale, do that one more time. Inhale, release. Let those hands fall to the sides of the body. The palms face the ceiling. Give yourself any little adjustments so that you're nice and comfortable and close your eyes. Take a big breath in. And on the exhale, feel the jaw release. On your next exhale, feel the throat release. On your next exhale, feel the shoulders and arms release. Feel the ribs release. Feel the muscles of the abdominals and all of the guts and organs release. Feel the hips heavy into the ground. Feel the legs heavy into your chair. And continue to breathe here and sink into the ground for as long as you need. Continuing to breathe, continuing to sink, continuing to relax. Thank you very much for joining. Have a good night and sleep well.